Okay, so I know I already made one video about this NDE show I'm watching, but there was something else that someone in the show said that I just felt like I had to come on here and share again, because it was one of those moments where I was like, oh my God, that's so profound. If you haven't heard what else I had to say, that's the video before this one on my profile. Anyways, so the woman who was being interviewed, she was talking about how when she died, she went into a void, right? It was this black space, and she said she felt fear and she was scared. And it wasn't overwhelming fear, but kind of this thing of being in a very dark room and you can't see. And she's like, I knew I could move my body, but I couldn't see where I was. And this fear started to come up in her. And then I don't remember exactly what she said, like what was the thing that made her recognize this, but she said that the minute she recognized that she had put herself in that void, because that's what she expected to happen when she died, that the minute she had the realization, I've put myself here, she said she heard this loud cracking sound, like a giant lake full of ice cracking, and the light started to stream in, and she started to feel herself being moved upwards. And I really think that was so profound, because I have been saying for years that I believe that what happens when we die is what you believe would happen when you die. I actually saw a movie called After Death or something like that, or Afterlife, something like that, a year ago. And there was someone in there who also had an NDE, and he said the same exact thing. He said when he died, he experienced the sensation of being surrounded by evil spirits and all this stuff. And even though he wasn't being hurt, he still felt the fear. But then this voice came to him and said, do you realize you have put yourself here because of what you think is going to happen, what you have designated as to be what you deserve to happen to you when you die? This is why you're experiencing that. And just like the other woman, the minute he started to recognize that he had put himself there, the light started to come in and bring him forward into a place that felt better. I don't know, this just felt so profound, because so many people fear death. And there's no reason to fear death. It's just a natural evolution in our process. Now, of course, I'm not saying I want to die. I'm not in a hurry. I'm enjoying my life. And I'm also not saying I'm not afraid of pain, because I'm absolutely afraid of pain and suffering and fear, obviously, overall. But death itself has never been something, at least in the last 6-7 years, that I'm afraid of. I'm more curious than anything, because I'm a scholar and I always want to learn what's going to happen. But if what everything these people who are having NDEs is to be believed, and it's more than one person saying it, that's the thing. The thing with science is it has to be reproducible. Well, this is reproducible to an extent, because it's being said by more than one person. That what you experience when you die is based on what you expect to experience when you die. So when you're thinking about death, try not to be fearful of it. While yes, pain sucks and nobody wants it, the act of dying is a natural step in moving forward. Not to mention that every single NDE experience I have watched or heard a story about, every single one, without exception, they have all said that when they get to wherever it is we go, that it feels so much more real than anything here, that this is the dream and you're waking up at home where you're meant to be. I just feel like people have so much fear around death, and it's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? So maybe instead of telling yourself that you deserve something terrible, maybe start reminding yourself that Source is going to love you no matter what. Just like a parent, you may be unhappy with something your child does, but doesn't mean you don't love them, doesn't mean you wouldn't do anything for them. You're just trying to help them learn. I mean, it's kind of like the idea of a baby learning to walk. When you have a baby and they're learning to walk, if they fall down, you don't go, you terrible baby, you're so stupid. No, you pick them up, you say, it's okay, we're going to try again, and you keep going. That is how Source is with us. It cares, it loves us, and it's not going to damn us for making mistakes, because that's the whole reason that we're here. I'm just saying, maybe it's time to change the language around death. It's so ignored in our culture, in American culture. It is so ignored and so feared. And maybe it's time to start changing that. Not saying to rush towards death, but I am saying don't be afraid. Live your life fully here. And then when death comes, it just comes, and it's okay. It doesn't mean it's not sad, doesn't mean you won't miss people. It just means it's just the next step. Just moving forward. This has been a very profound Sunday for me. I've been extremely emotional today and getting all this information. Sorry for the videos, just had to share with my buds, you know, my vibe tribe. You're my friends. You're the people I talk to about this stuff. I'm just saying, because my husband is definitely not interested. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's a great day. See you guys.